So welcome to episode 3 of The Buzz at Leighland Christian School. In this episode, we're going to hit up music. Music is an incredible way to express our faith in Christ and see the gifts that God has given us being expressed in all sorts of creative ways. Today you'll get to see the primary and the high school participating in music, interviews from our music teachers, Mrs. Polden, Mrs. Haberley, Mr. Legg, and then we also have Mr. Dennis. He's in music this year for the first time. However, he won't be speaking on this interview today. But we have a great team that are working together to make music at Leighland Christian School something really special. And you know, it's part of our strategic plan to really develop the arts. And our focus over the last couple of years has been building up this music program. So watch with me and we'll unpack it a bit further together.
Hi, my name's Cherie Haberley. I'm the music specialist teacher at both campuses in the primary school, teaching music. Music at Leighland I'm just finding it's really fantastic to see how the kids are all joining in. They're used to a very strong music program, which is really great to be able to walk in and just continue with that. My focus is really on getting everybody involved and making sure everybody understands we can all have something to offer and everyone participating. I'm trying to do as much as I can at the moment in whole group things, so not sending kids off so much into small group things, but trying to get them to build a sense of community, I suppose, in our music making. It has a huge impact on their learning. I'm actually going to a conference tomorrow about neurological research into the effect of music education on the brain, which is really, really interesting. They've got this new field called neuromusicology, and it shows that music is the only subject in schools which both sides of the brain light up, and they call it fireworks in the brain. So it can have so much benefit to other learning areas like reading and writing, particularly language in the early years. So I'm really quite passionate about finding out more about that and how it can impact our programs here as well. As well as the classroom music sessions, which are, as I said, building community and working on foundational skills. We also are able to offer some extra things to students, which is so great, like the choir groups and Roomba groups. And here at Burnie, we've got more options as well with their running band program. So a recorder program, it just gives the kids more options to really follow those passions of their own and build on the skills that they've learned in the classroom music lessons. So that's a huge part of it, and really just opening their minds to the possibilities that there are once you have that foundation. Yeah, so coming up very soon, we've got at the end of this term, the senior choir at Ulverstone campus are going off to Hobart to be part of Festival of Voices. And that's come about because I've done it in the past in Hobart and had inquired when I moved up here, is it a possibility that we could take a choir down? And at the beginning of the year, they phoned me up and said, are you interested in coming down? We've got access to a travel grant. We can pay for you travel to get down there and back. But wow, that's such a good opportunity. Don't want to pass that up because it's such an expensive task otherwise. So we've committed to it and we're heading off. We're busy learning songs at the moment. It's a really wonderful opportunity for the kids because they get to work with a world-class conductor who I've seen in action before and is just phenomenal, and learning half a dozen songs, and they'll be singing with other kids from a combination of private public schools. And the really great thing is it's not competitive, so they're not going there to be judged. Anyone who's a little nervous about singing in front of others, it's a big group, so you don't have to worry about everyone's attention focused on you. Plus it's, there's no judgment, it's just really for enjoyment and so much learning that can take place with Mr. Trecek King, who's coming from Boston. So we're really excited about that. We've got a few fundraising events coming up, which we would love everyone's support for. And the girls are working really, really hard. It is all girls at the moment in the choir, working really hard to learn the songs and prepare.
Okay, so I'm with Mrs. Polden on the Burnie campus. Hello. Can you tell me what is your role this year in music? Because I know you're the deputy head of campus, which takes up 4 of your days, but on the other day you do lots of music. What are you doing? And tell me about the Eisteddfods.
Yeah, well, we've got the Eisteddfods coming up. That's a really big thing. It's coming up at the end of June.
Yeah.
And we're working towards doing lots of performances at the Eisteddfods. So we've got choir performances happening, we've got instrumental performances happening, we've got a lot of drama performances happening. It's just so great for the kids. Anytime we get to give children a chance to be creative, That just unleashes lots of things for them. It's really great.
Can you tell me how many students are entered into the Eisteddfod this year?
Well, we got 98 entries.
98
and,
in Burnie.
At Burnie campus, we've got 98 entrants, and some of them have more than one child in them because there's duos and trios and whole choir groups. That still only counts as one entry.
Yeah, right.
So we've got a lot of children performing at the Eisteddfod.
That's incredible. So you're 1 day a week. What do you do here in music?
I take choirs, I take band, I take individual instrumental preparation.
Yeah, wonderful.
And we're doing a lot of drama preparation as well.
Yeah.
So learning poems, some of the children are writing their own poems, things like that. Yeah.
What incredible opportunities we have here at the Burnie campus.
Yes, my name's Mr. Legg, or Jeremy Legg's my full name. I'm teaching 7 to 12 music here at Leighland Christian School, and running a few of the extracurricular programs, like we have concert band and choirs happening at extra time. So that's my main job at the moment, along with running worship for staff, different occasions and events and things like that. High school is a lot about finding passion for students in music and what they're interested in, and trying to stimulate a bit of excitement in whatever that is, and that can be different for each student. College is a bit more project based, a little bit more kind of specific about what they need to do and outcomes, and it probably gets a little bit more tailored towards the career outcomes in music. Probably that, the career connection. So trying to find, the first thing's about finding some sort of passion. I think if students, we're finding a way for them to want to learn. So there's no point in music. Wouldn't have a lot of purpose if it was sort of forced and here's what you need to learn, just do this, do that. But I believe we're finding a way for them to be motivated in themselves and that independent learning where they want to go on. It's a very project based essentially, so finding the end goal and then working towards it. But yeah, then the career connection to that is the other part. So, or the real world connection is another big part of what we do. So anything they're doing here should be real and should be as they do it in their industry. So I prioritise having the best quality gear, for example. So rather than having sort of what would it probably previously have been high school standard instruments, I prioritise having the real gear, so it does set them up better and encourages better technique and playing as you would do in the real industry or out at a performance or a venue. I'm a firm believer that students can learn just as much or more from each other than they can from the teacher sometimes. So finding the right groups that work well together, doing ensemble, and ensemble's a big focus. So the way I've sort of changed the way we use the space here is to have rooms that are focused towards group work, at least of groups 3 or 4, where they can all learn and learn about the different elements or the different. Some of the parts is probably the big thing. So when you have all the right instruments blending together, you can achieve a better outcome and a closer result to what they probably listen to on the music. I think I keep it pretty real from day one. I tell them a lot of what we do. While we do have curriculum and things that we've got to meet, a lot of it's tailored to them. So I'll generally every week I'll even ask them, how are you going with what we're doing? Are you excited by what you're doing? Is there anything you'd like to be doing differently? And quite often in one music class you could have 10 different kind of ways of doing music or different avenues of their learning, finding music. But it's very much about them and and trying to find their interest in music at the end of the day, I think, and that's what a lot of the time drives their motivation. Other times it's hard. You're trying to, when it comes to music, you still have to put in hard work and it's practice and it takes a lot of time to get to that end goal. But I guess just getting helping to foster that belief they can get there and then kind of motivating them towards those goals is the big thing. I think seeing the passion in students or their own, that once they find that connection themselves and they start exploring it for themselves, that's probably the best thing. We've got a few guitarists at the moment, especially, that come back each lesson with a new guitar solo or a new song they've learned or a new riff, and I haven't even lined it up with them and they've just gone and found it. So I think that's a really cool thing to see. Or when students are going out and we had a few that have had their own gigs and gone and performed locally at different venues and they're doing it for themselves. I think that's pretty cool.
Music holds a significant place in the Bible, serving as a powerful means by expressing and connecting with God. Throughout the scriptures, music is mentioned numerous times, highlighting its importance in worship, celebration, and spiritual expression. In the Old Testament, the book of Psalms is filled with songs and hymns that were used to worship God. In the New Testament, the Apostle Paul encourages believers to use music as a means of expressing their love and gratitude to God. In Ephesians 5, we hear, "Speak to one another with psalms, hymns and songs from the Spirit. Sing and make music from your heart to the Lord." In Psalm 100, it states, "Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come into his presence with singing." Our staff and students love to bring our God musical praises and worship here at Leighland.
We love Leighland Christian School.
Well, thanks for taking the time to join us today on an exploration of music at Leighland. You know, our vision is to be this hope-filled Christian community pioneering personalised real-world learning. And I guess, you know, you've seen today how that happens in music. You've heard about how we're trying to personalise music. You've heard about how we're trying to make it real world and give more opportunities there. And you've heard how Christ underpins everything that we do. And hopefully our relationship with Jesus shines in through all the amazing music opportunities that we have here at the school. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to talking to you about Burnie campus in our next episode at The Buzz.